All rise.
Say what?
I'm sorry.
Oh, check that out, man.
I wasn't talking to you, sir.
I got a notification immediately today.
Wow. All rise. Did we do that already? Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Welcome to Sunday Morning Mass. Please be seated.
It's been done. All rise. Oh,
I'm looking at. I'm Lou Gallagher.
I'm Corvette Ronnie.
Right. And this is Sunday Morning Mass with Men Are So Smart. I'm looking at a picture of some kid named Vinny holding a baby here.
Oh, yeah.
Did anybody tell him that he put his hat on backwards by accident?
He thinks he's Ken Griffey Jr. I think Ken Griffey still wears his hat backwards. I'm not sure. He's like
I wouldn't doubt it.
He's the perennial millennial.
Hey, that's pretty good, Ronnie. Maybe that's what we'll entitle this show.
the
perennial millennial. All right, so let me see. Thank you for watching today. It is October the 4th of 2020. And another semi-smoky, hazy day in Northern California.
You know, as we were driving home last night, the moon was out, and we were up in Auburn, which is a little higher. It's, I don't know, about 1,500 feet elevation. And the moon was kind of had a reddish orange tint to it. But then by the time we got down here, I think we got below the haze layer, and the moon was perfectly clear again. So it's very, very bizarre what the smoke does to the moon and the sun too. I worked on Friday, and I took a picture of the sunrise, and it was very eerie looking. It was very orange.
Well, kind of like the one behind you. That's a picture you took as well.
Very much like the one behind me. Yes.
Yeah,
so,
it's a shame too, because you look at it and you go, wow, that is so uniquely beautiful. But then you realize what's behind it, and it's a lot of air particulate.
Yeah.
I got to be honest, since I've been down the last few weeks, I haven't washed my car, and I went out there yesterday because somebody moved it, and I could barely see what color it was. It was so covered.
Yeah. It's pretty bad. I have to go. I have some training tomorrow out at the range, and so I'm not going to. And there's a little gravel parking lot, so I'm not going to bother washing my truck today at all. Normally, I would wash it on Sundays, but I'm not going to wash it. Hey, it looks like Jason was the first one in today, followed very closely by Randy.
Ooh, okay. Well, I got to stop you right there, because I was informed yesterday that Melanie was going to do everything that she possibly could to be the first one in yesterday, and it would appear such was not the case today.
Yeah.
I need to know what happened for Melanie.
I'm not seeing it. In fact, I'm not even seeing her in here at all. Oh, there she is. Melanie's here.
What did she say?
She says, alas, not first. Yep.
Wow.
She was like 4th or 5th or 8th, 22nd, whatever.
Wow.
She's just another also ran.
That's just, Mel, I don't know what to say. I had a lot of money riding on that. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, she was part of my trifecta. So
oh, she was?
Yeah, I didn't win that either.
In your Mantasy?
Yeah.
Or your Mantasy Fantasy? I cannot seem to be able to get the show today.
Oh.
I'm not
sure. It's on. It's a good one, too.
Is it? I should watch.
You should watch.
Actually, you know what? I'm not going to watch it here, because I'm just going to end up watching it later with my wife.
You'll be surprised.
Which brings us to another particular subject. Now, first of all, there's an elephant in the room, and it's the president and the COVID.
Right.
And we'll get to that in just a little bit. Just relax, okay? When we left you last, which would have been a week ago to this time, we were talking about the very possibility, the distinct albeit remote possibility, that our wives might join us for a show, or There was even some talk of them doing their own show. Now, those of you that suggest that, the chances are you've never actually done one of these shows. And I don't want to say you got to be a genius to do one, but there's a certain rhythm, a certain pace at which you go, a certain point where you know that a conversation has reached its end. There's a lot of subtleties that go on that I don't know the two of them could actually could or would want to pull that off.
Yeah, there's a lot of little nuances that you don't really see, but it is, and it's what separates a good show from an also ran.
Right.
So,
and if there's any time where there's just dead air, then here's what it looks like. Ready, Ronnie? This is what that looks like. Oh, I got an idea.
Idea?
A lot of people say that when you do dead air like that, you lose part of the audience. Hell, we don't care. We don't care.
Let's see. Now there's 17 watching. I think we started with 18, so somebody dropped.
I wonder why I can't get it on my phone. All right, talk to me about some of the people on the live chat and what they're saying.
You may have blocked us or something.
That could be, yeah. I block crappy shows.
So Jason, Randy, Steve Klein, Salty Dog, Vicky, Tisha.
Good morning, Tisha.
Painter. Roxanne Painter. She's not watched the live show for a while. So
who?
She's in. Roxanne Painter.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And she actually contacts us by the messenger every once in a while.
I don't see that very often.
Yeah. Melanie's here. Rick Clemenson, Ken Blythe, Christine Kenzie. Let's see. Carrie Toes. I'm here. Roxanne, let's see.
Melanie says, great dead air dramatic acting. Thanks. We got on here together a little earlier just to go over that. Just to make sure we had that.
The pre-production, the meetings are...
We were on the phone till all hours of the night working that out.
Yeah. I think it paid off. I think it shows we put a little extra work into it.
Indeed, good man. Indeed.
And Bill Graff. I'm not sure Bill Graff has been here before. Bill, welcome. If you're not a regular, and then Jim Black. He's from Canada watching, eh?
Cool. Yeah. That's awesome.
Probably got a little maple syrup up there, and yeah. Oh, Carrie Toes is from Canada also. I did not know that.
She's from Canada?
Yeah.
I got a message from, who was it? Did I tell you?
Yeah, you did tell me.
Odiferous Soul?
Oh, yeah, Odious Soul.
Odious Soul, that's right. Odiferous would be something completely different. No disrespect intended.
No.
Maybe just a little light on coffee this morning. Anyway, I got an email message that said, "What time and day are you on again?" I thought, well, that's a little odd, but I'll weigh in. You tell me that that's a girl, huh?
Yeah, it's a girl, and she was Jason. I'm sure Jason and Sasha probably know her, or at least know of her. She was a Forrest Fenn YouTuber. She does other things also, but she was kind of part of the not quite as big as these two people, not quite as big as them as far as Forrest Fenn stuff, but she did a lot of Forrest Fenn content on her channel.
Well, that's awesome. I didn't know that it was a lady, and I'm thrilled that it is. I I wrote back that she didn't seem so odious. You're going to have to go to the dictionary and look that up. I'm not going to help.
I probably watched, I don't know, I probably watched a dozen or more of her shows.
Wife show. That's where we were at. Okay.
There we go. That's right.
Where were we at when we left off last week on this? We decided that we would talk to our wives and see where they stood.
Yeah.
What did your wife have to say, Ronnie? Vicky is Ron's wife.
Yeah, I don't think she's that into it. She's not, because honestly, they could just change seats. So there wouldn't really have to be too much of a technology learning curve for them. Vicky could pop in this seat and Teresa could pop in that seat and they'd be good to go. But it's kind of like you were saying before, it's all the little things that go into making the show that would be difficult, I think, for either one of them individually or even collectively to put together.
Well, you and I have been working together for over 3 years, and we've known each other for like 43 years.
Yeah.
And we didn't miss too awful many steps when we moved to Zoom from doing it in the same studio.
It seems a little awkward at first because a lot of times you do get a vibe from the person sitting next to you, but it does seem pretty seamless right now.
I don't know that we'll ever go back to it, Ron.
Yeah. There's a lot of setup,
breakdown,
and you got a half-hour drive each way, and
on a very busy street.
Yeah,
with traffic cameras in about 5 different intersections.
Yeah.
And I know you say to yourself, "What's the big deal there?" Well, if it was just one.
Right.
But they want you so bad.
Oh, yeah.
Why I oughta.
They do a thing. I watch a TV show.
We keep getting away from this wife thing.
Caught in Providence. And it's a court show. And it's from Providence, Rhode Island. And it's traffic court, basically. And in Rhode Island, apparently, or at least in Providence, they have traffic cameras that write tickets for speeding as well as red lights.
Nice.
Red light tickets are everywhere, but they have speeding tickets.
I've heard of those.
And so if you're just driving down the road and you go past, and it looks like mainly they're in school zones. So if you happen to inadvertently, you normally drive this road, but you're driving it during school hours and you're going 5 miles an hour over the speed limit, you get a ticket in the mail. And wow, I can't even imagine.
Somehow that just doesn't seem right.
It doesn't. Yeah. So, but apparently them Rhode Islanders have bought off on it. And so they're all okay with it. But.
All right. So back to our wives. Ronnie,
yes.
There are nuances that Vicky does not want to have to contend with. There's a certain, I don't know if you feel it. I don't feel it anymore because I've been doing this so long, but there's a certain amount of pressure to doing a show like this because you have preconceived notions about what you need to do, and the anxiety over doing those things sometimes is much greater than the actual doing of them themselves.
Yep, that's true.
Do you have much anxiety when you wake up and you have this show?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. We've been doing it so long now.
Yeah.
And sometimes people say to me, "Lou, you got a show tomorrow. Are you nervous?"
About what?
Yeah. And then somebody said, when I told them that we pre-record the radio show right now, because we can't be in studio, they said to me, "Do you have to stop it every few minutes and because you make a mistake?" No.
No, there's no fixing that.
And just like with this show, there is no post-production, folks.
Right.
You get what you get.
Now there used to be some post-production in the old shows that we recorded.
Mm-hmm.
We would take a hour and, well, most of our shows back then were about 20 minutes or so, roughly.
20 to 30, I'd say.
Yeah. But some of them took 30 to 40 to film. But then after some editing and what have you, then you ended up with a nice round 20 to 30 minute show.
Right.
So,
yeah. And it would take about an hour and a half to 2 hours to edit that show.
Oh, at least. Yeah.
And then people would say, well, that's not so bad. Well, then you got to upload the show.
Yeah.
And when you see these numbers on television commercials that talk about your download speed and how fast it is, that's good.
Yeah.
What they don't tell you is your upload speed. And sometimes that video that takes an hour to an hour and a half to edit takes an hour and a half to upload.
And then all you need is to get like a little error or a blip in your internet, and then, error in loading.
Right.
Retry.
Right. And then some people would say, well, why don't you just just upload that overnight? Because you don't know for sure that it's going to work.
Right.
And I'll also tell you that sometimes you get an hour into the upload and it fails.
Yep.
And that's way too much stuff for you to understand. Let's get back to this wife thing.
Yeah.
I spoke to Teresa about it, and she said that she's not completely opposed to the idea, which was a complete surprise to me.
Okay.
And she said and this was so funny. She goes, there would have to be conditions. What, are we going to have a roommate agreement?
No brown M&Ms.
My mother had me tested.
Okay, Sheldon.
And I said, okay, well, look, first of all, it's our show, so you don't get any conditions.
Yeah. The conditions are there's no conditions.
You either do it or you don't. That's the condition.
Right.
And so she said to me, and if we did it, and she did say we.
Okay.
She said, if we did it, I would want to see like questions from the listeners ahead of time about our husbands. I said, nobody wants that.
Yeah. Especially not us.
No, hell no. And there's only one thing different between my relationship and your relationship, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Because you've been married for 30 years, and I'm coming up
35.
This year, 35, I'm sorry. All due respect. And I'm coming up on 30 years in May. That reminded me of a joke I saw last night on TV. They were talking about a relationship. Oh, it was on The Office. A relationship that had lasted 3 months. And the guy says, your relationship hasn't even lasted 3 months. And the girl goes, 4 months. Next month. Really? I thought you'd just completely skip 4 months and go to 5. In any case, I don't think anybody really wants that as a show. So as a producer of the show, that leads me to believe that perhaps what we might do is have them on seated next to us as guests. And maybe at that particular time, people who, my heart wasn't in the excuse me, was it?
It just wasn't. No, I didn't buy it at all.
It was a formality.
Yeah.
We could kind of still direct the show and have them answer your questions or participate in some capacity. We could try to gear the information more towards our wives, more towards, I don't know, the differences between men and women.
Yeah. You know what? That is a show that could go on for the ages.
Oh, it won't.
That's an hour-long show every week.
Yeah, but we don't want our wives on every week. Trust me.
uh,
And not that we don't love them. We love them.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
we have men work to do.
Yeah, I think it would get in the way of all her vacuuming and washing dishes and stuff. So
No one needs that, Ronnie.
yeah, yeah, that's work that's got to be done.
And I want those dishes done before 5 o'clock, which is the cocktail bewitching hour around here.
So while Vicky was gone for 2 weeks when we had our grandchild, she
I thought
spent 2
I
weeks.
thought you were going to say before I noticed.
Well, there were certain aspects around the house that noticed.
Right. I
Yeah.
understand. I understand. In fact, when my wife goes out of town, you can always tell because I have pizza in bed with the dog. If you see that, you know what's going on. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, one of the little things that happened while Vicky was gone is we had a bag of sugar sitting on the counter, and we have hummingbird feeders, and so we make our own hummingbird nectar basically from that bag of sugar. And it's, I don't know, it's some generic brand. It's probably like Sam's Club or Costco brand, whatever. And so it was sitting on the counter. Well, I got home one day and I noticed, and Buster has a little zone. We call it the kill zone, and it's over on the dog bed. And whenever he's dug through the garbage or found something in the sink or found something on the counter that he's not supposed to have, he takes it over to his kill zone, and that's where he, does his best work. Well, he picked up the bag of sugar and drug it over to the dog bed. And I think it turned out to be too sweet for him because it was mainly all there. But his big canine teeth punctured the bag, and there was a trail of sugar going all the way to the dog bed.
I knew you were going to say that.
And then me not really knowing how to work the vacuum cleaner, I thought, well, you know what? It's Wednesday. Vicky's home tomorrow, so
It can wait.
it'll still be here. I went about the business of taking the cover because the dog bed had crusty sugar caked on it. And so I took it outside, I hosed it off, and then I stuck it in the washing machine and washed it. So I at least did that. But yeah, the vacuuming, there was a trail of sugar from the kitchen to the dog bed.
It's funny you say that you don't know how to use the vacuum because the other day, I can't remember who it was, but somebody said to me, well, why don't you just throw that in the washer? And so I thought, okay, cool, good idea. I went over to the washer. I had no idea that you had to have a Microsoft degree to operate. I'd never even seen the washer. And I honestly, I couldn't figure it out. I don't know how to turn it on. So I just said, screw that. I threw the clothes in the hamper. And
Pretty happy that you at least figured out which room it was in, though.
well, and I knew which one was the washer between the washer and the dryer.
That's true.
There's got to be some points in that.
You had a 50-50 chance. You could have just flipped a coin and you would have been, half right.
Salty Dog says pre-screened questions. Fame is already going to her head.
Well, and it's funny because I said no brown M&Ms. Do you know who had that rider?
Was that the guys from the Fake Rock Man movie?
No, it wasn't. But I know who you're talking about. That's oh god dang it. Somebody in the chat. What was the name of that movie?
Come on, you know what I'm talking about with the British accent.
Yeah. No, but that was actually Van Halen. And it was Van Halen at the height of their popularity. One of their riders for the green room was no brown M&Ms. And it was mainly a Diamond Dave type of thing. And he did it just to make sure that promoters and whatnot were actually reading what they put in there. And what's his name? Eddie Van Halen said that he would go through the bowl of M&Ms and he would just, if he saw brown ones in there, he'd pick them up and throw them at the promoter. So,
That's what we did with our rider for our band.
Yes.
And we would pick out the brown ones and we would actually throw them at our road manager.
We started that. I think David Lee Roth got that from us.
Yeah. Who was our road manager?
Um,
Well, it doesn't matter.
yeah. Wasn't David Lee Roth.
Melanie says, would you share your glam squad with the wives? I'm not sure I understand what that means, Mel. I know what a glam squad is.
I think it's the person responsible for our makeup and whatnot, and doing our hair and everything before the show.
Oh.
Yeah.
I got a haircut on Wednesday, and I'm already up and walking around.
How about that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I cut my own, which, you probably can tell anyway, but it was getting a little bit last week. It was a little tall. Do you remember Kid and Play?
I was thinking more of Ert and Bernie and Ert.
Yeah, it was probably half an inch taller last week. So I took a significant amount off.
All right. Let's see what else. My man, yeah, right. Do dishes are clean.
I will say this though: when Vicky got home, there were no dishes in the sink. We made sure of that, and only because we never cooked anything while she was gone. So
there was nothing to clean.
There was no reason to put any dishes in the dishwasher.
I guess a lot of men are like this, not just you and me. Because, you're saying this, and it's the same exact thing I do. I remember in the past, when my wife would go out of town for 2 or 3 days or whatever, I would want to make sure that when she came back, the house was cleaner than when she left.
Yep.
Just to let her know. You can be replaced.
I can make it.
Yeah.
I'm not totally helpless.
I wouldn't even replace her.
I'm helpless, but not totally helpless.
Right.
Yeah.
If I put my mind to something, there's a chance, even albeit remote, that I might be able to come up with it.
Wow. Tisha says that her son cooks, cleans, does laundry, plus shopping. Well, you know what, Tisha? Your son's going to make somebody a nice little wife one day.
I'm sure he will. And I bet that husband will bring home some nice little jewelry for him.
You know what? I actually do my own laundry. But there's a long story behind that. And
I remember that story.
Yeah. So I do my own laundry, and it's fine. It doesn't get much simpler than that. I even separate my whites from my colors, so I'm pretty well trained too.
You've got the greatest viewers. We really, really do, Ronnie. For a couple of guys who just do the show about practically nothing.
Yep.
We have all of these viewers who are adding in with their comments and their life stories and their hacks and all the. It is. I hope that this show seems as interactive to you as it does to us. Someone once said, in fact, you know who it was? Otis Magoo. Otis had some problems once again health-wise, and I noticed that he's not on here today.
He is actually.
Oh, he is on here? Okay. Well,
yeah.
One of the things that Otis wants to do is he wants to come out to California in his pickup truck, and he wants to have beer with each one of us, just kind of sitting on the truck and talking like we're sitting around a campfire.
Right.
And that's kind of what the show is, Yeah. My wife will even say to me, what are you going to talk about? I don't know.
Yeah,
is this show just about you and Ronnie sitting around talking to one another? Kind of.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you not have an agenda of things you need to talk about?
Oh, yeah. There it is. Yep. See?
Yeah, but here we are 30 minutes into the program, and I don't think we've touched on any of them. And I opened up with the elephant in the room, which was Donald Trump.
Right.
We haven't gone to that yet either.
Yep.
But the point is, our viewers are the best. Tisha says your show is an addiction.
It wouldn't be much of a show because we get a lot of our feedback from the viewers. So sometimes we'll go off on a little tangent based on something that was typed in the room.
Yeah, I never thought of that. My wife needs to understand that.
Yeah. Oh, and Cray's here now. Cray, it's actually to talk to you guys at car shows face to face. Yeah, we've done that. In fact, you and I judged a car show that Cray was at. That one over on Alt Arden. Was it Tim's place?
Tim's, yeah, TMS. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do remember that now, Ronnie.
Yeah, TMS. That's right. Yeah. So, and Cray was there, and we've seen when we do the Autorama show, we've run into a couple watchers.
Oh, yeah. And it's funny because when I do an appearance like that, I'm out there for 2 hours from like 10 to noon or something. And it's interesting because I notice that some of the other radio guys that are out there, people come by, they say hi, and then they leave. With our show, or my show, with you there, people just sit around and talk to us the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then like I've had lunch with Rick before.
Yeah.
We went over to, I think it was called Broderick's, and had lunch. We probably sat there for 2 hours. And it's just like, you form a relationship with people, our watchers. I feel like I could go to lunch with any of them. So
it used to be that Ronnie and I would chat virtually every single day, and nothing's really changed all that much other than we try to kind of save that stuff for the show. So if it seems like it's Ronnie and I just talking about stuff, it's because we decided not to talk about it during the week and save it for the show.
Right. Yeah. That way it's not a show completely about nothing.
Exactly. All right, let's see what people are saying. Randy Brazil says, remember the acoustics inside the Tao Ford Museum on your earlier shows?
That was the worst. It's a big cavern in there, and it was very well, and plus there was a birthday party going on in the next room over.
Oh yeah, that's right. Young people.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of things going on in there, and it was echoey. Yeah, was not ideal.
And a little side note, the girl that we interviewed on that episode,
yeah,
I don't think she liked us very much.
I think she's not. You'll notice she's not in the room right now. She's not one of our big fans.
No. She's not a core viewer.
No.
We kind of, I don't think we were disrespectful in any way. I haven't watched that show since we did it. But I think she just kind of took offense at some of the differences between men and women when it comes to cars.
Right. And she's knows cars.
Right.
But she doesn't, not like you and I. You and I know cars.
Well, we lived them.
Yes. She learned cars, if I'm not mistaken. She learned about cars from her dad.
Right.
And she was really more of a museum curator than a car person.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But she knew about cars.
Oh, she knew her stuff.
She knew about cars. I'm gonna give her that. But if you stuck a 68 and a 67 Camaro side by side, I'm not sure she'd be able to tell the difference. Where my wife could. My wife could pick it out in a hot second.
Here's a comment. Ken Blythe.
Yeah.
Do you miss the comfort of the padded boat seats? These people have watched our entire, that show that I watch, Ridiculousness, on MTV all the time?
Yes.
I was watching something last night. I think it was a newer show. And they said, congratulations, you are watching our 500th show. And I thought, 500, that's cute.
Rookies. Yeah.
We're going on 600 shows.
That's too many. We need to put a cap on it somewhere. I think 750 is the cap.
If somebody were to give us $1 for each show to call it quits, we probably would.
I'd take that.
Split the $500 and call it a day, right, Ronnie? All right, let's see. Oh, Christine says, I can't stand the blonde in that show. I know. Her name is Chanel.
Her laugh is annoying.
Chanel West Coast.
Yeah. Yeah, that laugh is epically terrible.
It's kind of like a dolphin,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like a Woody Woodpecker.
I think we've talked about this before. Maria Menounos.
Oh, right. Yeah, she was on the show, on this ridiculousness show. They
Between
put those
the two
two
of them,
laughs.
Their laughs. And I've watched a couple of Maria's clips from late night TV, and you can tell that the whatever show she's on, they're trying to get her to laugh her crazy laugh.
Uh-huh.
And she doesn't disappoint.
You want to talk about an annoying laugh. I would put Chanel West Coast up against Menounos anytime. Menouno, can you imagine being married to her?
Our house would be very sad because I would not want her to laugh. Yeah. I just would please don't.
Yeah, and when we're done here, do a search for that. So that you know exactly what we're doing. But not now. Not during our show. Okay, we don't need that. Incidentally, we need you watching for the entire show. Those of you that are leaving halfway or whatever, you need to set aside enough time for the hour. Okay, because sometimes I see in the statistics, or as Dave Letterman would say, statistics, people watch for like 33 minutes, 38 minutes. You need to watch the whole hour.
Right. Yeah.
We're not here for our health.
Exactly.
Why are we here again? I think I need to be reminded at this point.
So Cray was going to say that the difference between the 67, 68, and I'm just going to throw out the easiest way to tell the difference between a 67, 68 Camaro. 67 has wing windows. 68 has no wing window. So
I had a buddy.
At a glance.
Do you remember Steve Grimalis?
I do.
He had a 67.
Yeah.
He had it painted kind of like a maroon color with a black hardtop.
Ooh, nice.
It was beautiful.
I had a buddy. He had a 60. Ken Cody. He worked at Lucky's up there at Arden and Eastern, and he had a 67 Super Sport, red with white stripes, beautiful, and he totaled it. But he had a 67. So, Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
You want to get to our show?
Yeah. Well, do you want to touch on the Donald Trump thing since we teased it?
I don't know how to tell you this, people, but Donald Trump has COVID. Did you hear?
Yeah. And so does First Lady.
How could you not have heard by now?
Yeah. Well, and then I think the remarkable thing is, because he's old. I don't know. How
74.
old is he? 74. So that is smack dab in the middle of the
target zone.
The kill zone. However, and then he's overweight. He doesn't like to admit it, but he's overweight, which is another huge risk factor. But he seems to be doing remarkably well. And I don't think he's received extraordinary care. He's gotten the care that pretty much anybody would get if they tested positive for coronavirus. So I think what he's showing us is it's not quite as deadly as we've been led to believe. If you're healthy to begin with, you're probably going to be okay. Unless you have some underlying health issues to begin with, it might be a little bit more deadly than for an average American.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. We'll see how quickly he recovers. I saw one of the news media, a kind of a little article that I read, said that he tweeted he wants to be back at work in 48 hours. And he signed some bill yesterday morning from the hospital. So he's not.
Well, he does not want a transfer of power. Neither does Wall Street.
Right. Yes. Yeah, I don't think that would be good for.
Remember, always follow the money. Well, Trump goes down, so does Wall Street.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't want my I don't want my mutual funds to take a dive. So yeah, please just
And
keep
I can
yourself.
picture COVID-19, the virus itself, Do, 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 do. I'm COVID. Do, 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 do. I'm going to infect this guy right here. Whoa. Whoa. Not Donald Trump.
Yeah,
Whoa. No. No Trump. No virus wants to invade Trump. They don't stand a chance against the guy.
yeah, yeah. Well, I could see where if somebody on CNN had it, where they might try to infect him, but that's about it.
So
So
that brings us back to when we step back in the Wayback Machine to Tuesday's debate. What a debacle that was. Did
that
you
was a
watch it, Ron?
dumpster fire. I watched probably, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes of it. And it was so annoying. First of all, it seemed like Chris Wallace was like teaming up with Joe Biden, and it was 2 against 1.
Yeah.
He was throwing personal questions that had really nothing to do with politics at Donald Trump, and he was throwing nothing but softballs at Joe Biden. And so it did seem a little bit one-sided. And so I probably, and then all the interrupting and talking over, I got annoyed after maybe 15 minutes, and I said, you know what, it's time to go outside and exercise the dogs. So I turned it off. And from what I understand, it was the whole 94 minutes or whatever it was all exactly that way. Pretty much unwatchable. I couldn't. There's no way I would have been able to do it.
So I'm sitting there in my room. I'm watching on my big screen. And as I'm watching, as each minute is going by, I'm thinking to myself, of those 3 guys, not one of them has a mask on.
Right.
What about Chris Wallace? I understand how Trump is. Well, I mean, I don't know if anybody understands how Trump is, really, but you know what I'm saying? He's not prone to wearing a mask in most cases.
Right.
But
Right.
didn't it even pass the mind of Chris Wallace that maybe he should have a mask on? Or was it
Well,
because of their social distancing?
I think they were socially distant. I think they said that Joe Biden was 12 feet or so from their little podiums were 12 feet apart. And then Chris Wallace could have been even further apart than that. You never really got to see where his desk was in comparison to them, but I'm guessing it was probably very triangular. So it was probably 12 feet away also. And, as contagious as this virus is, Joe Biden's tested negative.
So far.
Yes. So obviously it doesn't look like it transferred, even though Donald Trump probably had it or carried it during the debate. So
I have a COVID test in my future.
Oh, that's right, before your surgery, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think you got to do it 2 or 3 days before.
I think didn't Jessica have to do that before? Yeah, Jessica and Matt both had to do that before she went into the hospital for the deliver the baby.
Yep. So I'll be interested to see the results of that.
Well, it'll only tell you if you currently have it. It won't be the titers test to tell you if you've had it already. Vicky and I both think that we may have had it because we were both pretty sick back in December, January, probably January.
First week of January, first New Year's, I was sicker than a dog.
Yep. So we feel like may have already had it, been through it, beat it, kicked its ass.
And then last night, don't know if you caught it or not, but Saturday Night Live had the episode where they spoofed Joe Biden with Jim Carrey. They spoofed Trump with Alec Baldwin, and they spoofed Kamala Harris with
Maya Rudolph.
Rudolph, right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I have to say that the opening scene, which as many years as that show has been on, has always been extremely awkward. It was a very awkward moment between Trump and Biden. And I don't even know if there was a script that they went by.
Yeah.
Because if they did, they veered from it many times. It was not funny.
Yeah. You know, it's historically, I mean, if you go back 30 years, the opening skit sometimes is the funniest part of the whole show. And I would say that some people could still kill it. I think that, I know Justin Timberlake did one that was hilarious. What's the woman's name from 30
Justin
Rock?
Timberlake, you mean a dick in a box?
Yeah.
Can I say that? Yeah.
What's the writer from 30 Rock, the female?
Tina Fey?
Tina Fey. She has done a couple openings on Saturday Night Live. She's hilarious. I think she might be the funniest woman I've ever run across. I just totally get her. Her and I are just right here. So, and Maya Rudolph is really funny too. I think Maya Rudolph is extremely talented. But yeah, the openings historically have been kind of their bread and butter.
So I think overall the show was really a disappointment. Maya Rudolph was probably the best of the three, but I thought that Jim Carrey was not very good at what he tried to do last night. And I don't know why he anticipated or he took on that role, but he did.
I think Jim Carrey's lost his edge a little bit. He was kind of in the same vein as like Robin Williams, very spontaneous, acting off the page, and you're just a naturally funny guy. But I think as you get older and more life experiences, life becomes less funny to you. So I think he's probably done.
Something, and before we get to our fantasy draft, which is straight ahead, it'll be the last thing that we do today. It looks like we have about 12 minutes. There's a commercial on TV right now that I do not understand, and it plays religiously on some channels. Don't know if you've seen it, Ronnie. I don't think you watch as much of the TV as I do. It's with Flo and Jamie from a Progressive Insurance. And
Yes.
They ride up in front of a house, and Flo's in a Corvette, and Jamie's on a speed bike.
Yes,
And
I've seen that.
You have seen it?
Yeah,
What-
but it's so I can't even remember what the premise is behind it.
Something about playing a game of what do you call that stupid game with the round tiles and the diagonal board? The chips look like mints. What's that called? You don't know?
No.
Anyway, she says, "Are you up for another game of that?" Or he says that to her, and she goes, "Not on your life." I don't even understand what that's about. It's about the Thompsons and a house they live in. Someone help me. At what advertising agency did they play that for the client, and the client went, "Gotta have that one. That one is
Right.
good. Gotta have it."
Yeah.
That did not happen with this commercial, and I don't understand why they're even showing it. And then they roll credits.
Was it Parcheesi? No.
It was a big game back in the 70s.
I don't know, but you know what? It's funny because Progressive has some really funny commercials. They're not all winners,
No.
but they have a couple that are pretty solid. And you know who, that the actress that plays Flo, she's one of the highest paid actresses or TV commercial actresses there is.
I think she deserves it.
She makes, I don't know, I saw somewhere, it was some list that I was looking at. I don't know, she makes something like $12 million a year just doing commercial.
Backgammon.
Backgammon. There you go.
Another game of backgammon? Not on your life.
What's that even mean?
I don't get it. And why do they drive up separately? One on a motorcycle, one in a car. Probably only just to show that they have insurance for both.
Right.
And it's like some kind of multi-level beach house that they're at.
I remember the house. The house looked pretty fancy schmancy.
And something about Thanksgiving every year.
It's nonsensical.
Thank you, Bill Graff. Appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bill Graff says backgammon.
So,
see, Bill, you need to show up every week because we need your expertise.
Yeah. You know what? If you're not going to be here, you need to let us know.
Or let us know a time when that works out better for you so we can, film the show around that.
Yeah, we'll do that for you.
We'll work with your schedule. Don't worry.
And we'll design a show just for you.
We take a lot of input from viewers.
All right, Ronnie, let's move into our final segment this morning, which is Fantasy Draft.
Yes.
And with the 145th running of the Preakness yesterday, today's topic will be unique horse racing names.
Yes. I got some good ones.
All right.
Oh, good ones.
The winner of yesterday's Preakness was the number 4 horse, Swiss Skydiver. As you're aware, horse names are very, very funny in a lot of cases.
Yes.
And so today we will draft the top 3 horse racing names, and we're looking for your suggestions right now. Although I think I have a solid trio picked out, my mind is never closed to a good suggestion.
I think I've got the winning trifecta right here.
Oh, see, that's a horse pun.
There you go. That's a horse racing term. Yeah. So even though I've used trifecta already once during the show, I'm using it again.
I noticed that's the second time. One more time and you'll have the... No, never mind.
I'll have a trifecta on the trifecta. Randy Brazil says he saw that commercial too and he thinks they left a portion of it off.
Must have been the good portion. All right, so we're moving quickly. People, catch up here. We're moving into unique, if not funny, horse racing names for horses.
Randy says Whiskey Sour.
That's a good one, Randy.
That is a good horse name.
That is solid right there.
Yep. I've got 3, I think, that are legit. Too legit to quit.
We're running short on time here, so we've kind of got to move this along.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and do rock, paper, scissors. Which side do I need to be on? I'll be on this side.
There you go. Right there.
Okay. All right. I'm ready when you are. My eyes are closed. Your eyes closed?
Okay.
Here we go.
Yep.
And 1, 2, 3.
Oh, man. For sure you're going to go paper today.
You won last week.
Yes.
You didn't win rock or paper scissors, but you won.
No, I lost that. Yeah, but I had the winning team last week, which I think I'm also going to get this week.
You're not. There's no way. Mine are so good, Ronnie. Okay, Royal Flush from Randy Brazil, Tabasco Cat, Seattle Slew,
Secretariat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are good names, but they're not unique and funny.
No, we've got some unique, funny names.
Okay, keep them coming in, but be
Royal
listening
Flush,
here.
Though.
What's that?
Royal Flush could be a kind of a funny name.
That's true. That's true. Slow Joe, says Katie. That's very topical, Katie. Good job.
Well, we had a very famous horse from the Sacramento area. What, 2 years ago, maybe?
Won the Triple Crown.
Yeah. Was it California Chrome?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Outstanding horse.
All right, Ronnie, I have won rock, paper, scissors, and I have elected to go first and not defer.
Okay.
Are you writing down these?
Yes.
Okay. My first pick will be Horsey McHorseface.
Oh, I like that one.
Horsey McHorseface.
So my horse names all come from the Kentucky Derby.
All right.
Historical. They go all the way back to the 70s. My first one, I'm going to go with, and I have the list here. I don't want to pull it up. Bodacious Tatas.
I'm writing. Hold on.
Bodacious. That's with an AAICIOUS. Tatas.
Okay. And your second pick, the first one in the second round?
This might be my favorite one. No Soup for You.
Okay.
That's a Seinfeld reference. Soup Nazi.
Gotcha.
No Soup for You.
All right. So now I have two picks coming to me. I have the second pick in the second round and the first in the third.
Correct.
My second pick in the second round will be Ivana Humpalot. Hold on, I can't read my writing here. Shoot, where's my glasses? Oh,
That sounds like a name from Austin Powers.
Ivana Humpalot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got it. And my final I better leave these on so I can read it. My final pick, my third pick in this. Remember, I have Horsey McHorseface.
Right. That's a good one.
Ivana Humpalot. And my final pick will be No F in Chance.
I get that.
Say it fast.
No effing chance.
And Ronnie, we're back to you for your third pick.
I'm going to go with That's What She Said.
Ooh, that's solid.
Yeah. So I've got Bodacious Tatas, or so I've been told. I've got Bodacious Tatas. I've got No Soup for You. And I've got That's What She Said.
That's a strong trifecta right there, I tell you what.
You have Horsey McHorseface.
That's a winner.
Ivana Humpalot. And No Effing Chance.
All right, it's time to vote now. We have just a few minutes remaining in this week's show. Get your votes in. This is important. I noticed that last week we only had about 16 votes. I'd like to see closer to 20 to get a really good representation of our viewing audience, okay?
Well, we have 15 people watching right now. So
All right, but nobody vote twice.
Yeah.
Because I cannot hold Ronnie back from banning you.
Okay. So Melanie says Lou.
Thank you for
Salt
Lou.
Dog says Lou.
There's no
Keisha
effing
says
chance.
Lou. Oh, this is a runaway.
Really?
You're up by 3 lengths. Lou. Oh my God. 5 votes for Lou. Oh, Ken Blythe goes Lou. Holy
This
cow.
has never happened before. I feel like Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton.
I feel like my horse took off backwards from the gate. Yep.
Cray says, gotta go with Lou.
Yep.
I guess
well,
I'll share
I can tell you-
mine. Horsey McHorseface. That's a winner right there. Ivana Humpalot.
And No effing chance.
And No effing chance.
I really like bodacious tatas.
Ronnie says, no effing chance, Ronnie. A salty dog said that. Sorry, Ronnie, says Carrie. A shutout. I've never pitched a shutout.
Holy cow, it is. I did not get one single vote.
Wow.
I really thought that No Soup for You, and That's What She Said, would pull my team together. Yeah, Lou just went wire to wire. You absolutely did. Yep.
It's never been done before. No. Never in the history of Fantasy Draft has this ever happened. And you folks are here with us to witness it today.
Yeah. Yeah, this is huge.
You know the only thing missing? Jim Nantz.
Calling it, yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's funny because I had a couple of other ones that might have, I don't think they would have turned the tide though. But there was a horse named What Am I, Chopped Liver? That would have been a good one. And also Turducken was another one that I...
Turducken?
Turducken.
Oh, yeah, I know what that is.
That's the turkey inside a duck, or a chicken inside a turkey inside a duck, or somehow. Yeah. No, I just never had a chance. Oh, and Jim Black says he never watched Seinfeld.
Huh. I know another person that said that.
It was a fairly popular show.
You know what my dad used to call him? Steinfeld?
So my father-in-law calls him Steinfeld. Yeah.
Yeah, Steinfeld is what my dad used to say.
Yeah.
My dad used to say Elkton John. He loved that guy from the Rolling Stones, Mike Jagger. Lou pitched a shutout, but you pitched a no-hitter. Sorry, Ron.
Yeah, I think I was on the losing end of the no-hitter.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you know what? I'm going to have to thank my coaches. Without my coaching staff, without the support of my teammates, there's no way that I could have done that. I like to think I put in the work. But honestly, I try to put up a good game every single time I take the mound in Fantasy Draft.
Well, it was a team effort.
Yes. There's no I in team, and there's no effing chance. I don't want to beat a dead horse.
Oh, wow.
All right, Ronnie. Thank you. I feel good about it. I'm going to take this into the rest of my Sunday, and I'm going to think to myself, you know what? You earned a good day.
That was here's my list. Right there. There's my list. I'm going to tear up some little pieces, and I'm going to eat it. So, because I can't repeat this. This can't go again next week. So, yeah, I'm a little slightly embarrassed. Never happened before. That's what she said.
Lou gives it his all every time. That's what she said, Melanie. Yeah. Well, I'm thrilled. My arm feels good still. I don't want to say I could pitch another 100 innings, but maybe
I pitch a couple innings in relief in tomorrow's or next week's game.
If the team needs me, I will.
Yeah, you'll be the Madison Bumgarner of fantasy draft.
Sure, you bet.
Yep.
All right, we got to get out of here, Ron.
Yep. I got grandbabies to see.
Yeah, you know what? If we could, let's see, what a 904 crap. Give us about a minute update on the baby.
So baby has had at least 2, maybe 3 follow-up visits with the doctor. She's actually put on weight right after you deliver a baby. I think she was born at 8'4" or 8'2", 8 pounds 2 ounces, something like that. But she'd actually put on about 4 ounces in the couple days between her next visit, which they say is a little bit unusual. But she supports her own head.
She has a credit card.
She makes the funniest little hand. She does these. She's throwing gang signs all over the place.
Is she working yet?
she's only got one job, so we're trying to get her a couple more.
Did she get a car?
Not yet. Yeah, so she's going to have to.
See, my wife says I don't ask enough questions.
Well, you're asking the right questions.
Well,
they're hard hitting. There's some hard hitting questions.
That's what I do over here.
And she has the deepest, darkest blue eyes. Now, I know that a 2-week-old baby, their eyes could change, but right now they are very dark blue, much like mine. So they could turn out to be beautiful eyes, all my peepers. So we'll see. But
is she talking?
Not quite yet. She cries a little bit. Not very much. She's kind of boring. She sleeps and eats and poops in between.
That's me.
Apparently yesterday she had a blowout that crept past the diaper and ruined a little outfit.
Yeah, that happens.
I mean, it's happened to me. So
happened to me the other day. Getting out of the car at the gas station.
So she's, she takes after Grandpa for sure.
Good. All right. Okay, Ronnie. Any plans for today? We've got a NASCAR race.
Do we
don't we? Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is. We've got the morning off, but then this afternoon we're going to the outlets in Folsom. My son-in-law loves the outlets, and so they want to watch the first NFL game, which I will not be watching. And then we're going to meet them over there this afternoon. So
okay. Don't know if you heard this or not. If you listen to my radio show, you did yesterday. But in the year 2021, NASCAR is going to have a dirt track race.
I did hear that. Yes. And also, 4 or 6 road courses?
6.
6, yeah. Wow. And because
I am not a road course fan, though, Ronnie.
You know what? I actually saw a NASCAR race at Sonoma, whatever they call it now. It used to be Mazda. It used to be Sears Point. And I saw, the year I was there was Richard Petty's last year in NASCAR. So I saw his finale race at Sears Point. It's not, I don't think they're great because it's really hard to pass. It's hard to pass unless you wreck somebody. So I'm not a big road course fan either. Sears Point is amazing for motorcycle races, but yeah, not ideal for cars.
Whoops. Not a big fan. Otis says, thanks, Ronnie and Lou. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell a friend.
Bingo. Right on the nose.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know what? Other people of like minds.
Yep.
I'm trying to think. I don't think the guy that mows my lawn on a weekly basis would get a kick out of our show.
Oh, your son wouldn't?
I have a son. Man, I really should have somebody mowing my lawn. All I'm saying is, the guy down at the gas station, maybe not. But if you know somebody of a like mind that would enjoy our show and get us, be sure and tell them.
Yeah. It's a pretty simple show. Yeah. Not a lot of format. We're heavy on content, but not on format.
There you go. All right, Ron. Let's see. My email address is Lou, L-O-U, @menaresosmart.com.
Mine is Ronnie @menaresosmart.com.
If you haven't already done so, check out our Facebook page @MEnAreSoSmart.
Yeah.
And what am I forgetting? Oh, our website, menaresosmart.com. See how that all syncopates?
It all blends in, just like meshes perfectly.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right. We hope that you have a great rest of your Sunday. And we hope that the president gets better quickly and the first lady as well. And get this country back to where it needs to be. Otis says, Ronnie, don't the trucks already run dirt? Yes, at Eldora. You're absolutely right. But this will be at a short track, not Martinsville. Bristol. I think it's going to be a short track at Bristol.
That should be interesting. I'm kind of anxious to see that.
Okay. Thank you very much for watching today. Have yourself a great Sunday, and we'll see you next week. We will be on next week, and then maybe not so much.
A little break.
I'm Lou Gallagher.
I am Corvette Ronnie.
We'll see you next time on Men Are So Smart. Bye-bye, everybody.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, boy. Here we go. Will it turn off?